Alright guys, so this goes for any 2018, could be 17 and up, 1.5 liter GM vehicle. So we're fixing the p1101 and this is just some of the stuff involved, but it's going to be like a reverse order showing you. This is a stuck closed PCV, can't breathe at all. That's why we're doing this repair, and this is what causes the code. 90% of the time, around 70 to 90,000 miles. This is one I just did on my assistant manager's vehicle. Not too bad, can still kind of breathe, still through the code. And this is a brand new one. So I'm going to show you kind of in reverse order on how to do this job. It is going to require a lot more tools than normal, but this just pops right in there. You twist it to get it out, twist it and pull it out with some pliers. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and show you how to get this done. Okay, so if you're going to be doing this job yourself, it is decently difficult. It says you need special tools. You just got to be really careful, really, with removing the fuel rail. But first, you want to start with removing your battery. Once you get all the battery and stuff out of the way, you're going to go ahead and remove this vacuum pump. This vacuum pump's got 3 bolts holding it in. 2 and 3, and then this line, you gotta squeeze the line and pop it off. I'll show you that. And this sits a certain way in the cam so you can spin with it to build the vacuum. It goes right here. This is the line that goes on top. You just squeeze both sides, lift it up. Might have to push it down and squeeze and lift up. And then right there is where the vacuum pump sits into, right there. So you just line it up. If you remove it, replace the gasket. After you start doing that, you want to start removing the electrical connectors, cam sensors. There's one that goes on this side, it's hanging up here. This is for the O2, cam, all the ignition coils. This is for your injector harness, other cam, VVT. And then after you do all that, you're gonna have to remove this coolant line from the turbo. It's got a gasket that goes on there. This is the line that attaches down there. You will also have to remove that hose right there to take off this. This is 17. Make sure you depressurize the fuel or remove it slowly, let it leak out. Leave this all connected. You have to get some pliers to squeeze all these. And then remove these that have Loctite individually. And then the 10s. Now, once you do get all these out and these out, you're gonna wiggle this back and forth, and you're gonna have to lift up on this rail evenly. Probably grab it like underneath here and lift at the same time of doing it on that side. And you have to do it even for it to pop up. Now all these O-rings are gonna be left inside. These O-rings that I put some grease on, so it's easier going on. They all will come out and stay inside these little holes right in there. So you gotta pull them all out. Push them back onto there. And then these are what those little screws look like. And they're not magnetic, so be careful not to drop them. That's what holds those in. But I'm gonna go ahead and start putting this back together, and as I do that, you'll be able to find it. But I'm going to start putting this back together, and as I do that, I will show you along the way how each piece you need to take off is important and what to do. Okay, so putting this back together, we're going to do the outer gasket after we've already got our orifice installed because it was causing the check engine light getting all clogged up. Then we do the inner, and we're going to clean these out, and we're going to put the VVT so the gaskets in. This one and this one, they kind of look like little fidget spinners. Okay, be right back. Alright guys, got everything on right here. We got our main gasket going on. We got the inner gasket on, these two on. I don't think I explained this though, how to actually remove this piece if you need to. You literally just spin it. You use a set of pliers just like these. You can literally just go ahead and literally spin this, and then I stuck one part of it in there, one part on the outside, and you can literally just spin and pull it right out. Just like that. This is a new one, but you just push right in, and you're good. I'm also going to be replacing this vacuum pump too, as you all this going on. Another thing you guys should know is this is how it comes out. Don't try to remove these. This one. Don't try to remove them, just leave it on and take it out with the boot. And screw this Torx on the turbo, and this will pop out. Make sure you replace this early, install it. Just want you guys to know that before I throw this back. Okay, got the valve cover on. Just know you will have to sit it in like this and kind of mess it with it to get it to plop down. Make sure you don't have any electrical connections or anything going underneath. You need to put silicone on that corner and that corner before you put the valve cover on, just because there's a seam. Other than that, do make sure that your throttle body is loose and out of the way, because it will butt up against here. So when you go to install this, watch out, because some of them will come out with the seals, some stay in there. So this bolt has no seal, so it'll go in that one. But this one has a seal, so it goes into a hole that doesn't have one like this. Alright, we'll get all the bolts in. Okay, so we've got all the valve cover bolts tightened down around it. Even in the center. Now I'm going to go ahead and reattach this water pipe, reattach that to the turbo, which has also been replaced. But when you're attaching this water line, you need to bring it back over around here for it to actually go into the turbo right there. We got to reattach that water line right from there to there. I have a little cap on it, so it might look a little funny, but reattach that. And then tighten this back into the turbo with the two gaskets on the bolt. Now we're going to go ahead and get ready to install this. Add slight lubrication around the holes so the O-rings can go on smooth. Just make sure it's lined up perfectly so you don't bend any of these. Okay, now that you have it just resting on there, it's literally just sitting like it's totally loose. You're going to gently push. And then you're going to go ahead and thread in all the injectors first, and then put in the 10s going around. Just so you're aware, they do have Loctite, so when you're removing these, remove them by hand first, and then I use the electric tool to back them out, but let them sit in there. If you drop them, it's going to kind of suck because they're not even magnetic, so just be very careful. So, got them all threaded in by hand. I'm just going to set them down. I'm not fully tightening them with a gun. That's one. Gently. Two. Three. And about four. Right there. Go through by hand, and I will tighten them down just a little, same going all the way across. These tins are here. One, two. Always start them in by hand, because if you go to tighten these down and they're cross-threaded, you're gonna have a very bad day. Some of these are quite challenging. Drop that one. Magnet it is. Just gonna use some pliers and set that one in. Same thing, start them by hand. Sorry guys, video cut out there, but I got these all threaded in. They're all kind of tightened down, not fully, I just seated them. Same thing with this one. Seat. Okay. And then recheck them. Back. A little bit tighter. I strongly recommend you looking at the torque specs for this. I've just been doing it for a long time, so I just kind of know the good and tight feel. Alright, now we're going to start hooking up the injector connectors, which is really kind of a pain, honestly, because you have to line them up so perfect and you don't want to bend the prongs inside the injector. So it's kind of hard to just seat them in there, so you want to kind of try to get a good hold. And then once you have it just resting, push till it clicks. Same thing with this one. Try to line that up. So we got all those on. So you, I believe, recommend to replace this after reuse. I haven't on any of them, but you don't want to bend them too much, but they are pretty durable actually. So you push that on to where the nipple goes into the rail. You kind of squeeze it there to thread this on. Now once this is threaded on, it is good. You let go, we'll tighten it. Go ahead and just tighten that on. Put that in there. Sorry, video cut out again. But I'm gonna go ahead and tighten that one down. Come back over here. That one. I did put this one in over here too. So we're gonna tighten that one down. And switch it over to start to hook up most of the electrical connections. Come over here. Hook up our VVT solenoids. Okay, so we got that all on. Put our harness at the top. Oh, like that. So it sits on there, it's not jiggling around. We're gonna go ahead and hook back up the injector harness. I'm gonna go ahead and drop this down. I like to put it behind this to hold it. No, I literally just sit there. So we'll go ahead and start hooking all that back up. I'll give you guys the best view I can. That should be good. Alright, so Look at this cam sensor. There's one back here too. Connect it, lock this in. There's a ground right here. I leave the bolt in. You want to make sure you hook these up because they're very, very important. So, lock that back up. And we'll go ahead and drop our coils in now. Thread these in by hand. Thread this one in by hand. Tighten these in. Careful. Clear plastic. Alright. So we will go ahead and start putting these on. And they're going to come over here. Now this I unscrewed. There's a metal bracket. It went right on here. Twist it off. Force these back in. To the vacuum pump. So this is how the vacuum pump will come from Chevy, GM, wherever you go to get it, Cadillac. These always come with this bolt. The gasket's already on it. All you gotta do is install it. So that bolt comes on it. That's how it looks on the back side. You're just gonna put these two in. So it's right here on this back side. So I usually lift the intake root up and out of the way. So what you want to do is go ahead and remove this tube piece. You want to make sure you line this up with the cam inside of there. So I'll go ahead and check it. Kind of twist it the direction you need it to. So it's kind of pitched like that. We're going to set this on. It does have dowel pins. They'll set it in. So we're going to go ahead and try and get this on in there. Just kind of feel. Can spin it a little bit. The bolt really loosening it. Hold the core back out a little bit. Just going to check and see. So it's pretty good. Now you just want to line up all 3 of the holes. Put it in there. Push bolt, the one that's left in there, the one I just put in. It's gonna show 15. Roll those in there. And I've already threaded them in slightly by hand, so putting check these by hand. The bottom of it. So the bottom was a little tricky. It's down here a little bit. So I just kind of squeeze it with my fingers and let it fall into the hole. And then I'll slowly thread it in a little bit. I try to get this in mostly with my hand as much as I can because I just use a box wrench to tighten this all the way in. It's really hard to get a ratchet or anything down in there. The box wrench just works. So it's mainly almost all the way in. Until you feel it snug. There we go. Go ahead and put that on now. This squeeze connector, squeeze both sides, push down, pull up. Go ahead and push the harness out of your way and then clip this on. Alright, got the last one all tightened up. Go ahead and put the intake hose back on, get the battery back in, and we're good to go. Have a good day.